My name's Amy. I've been coming to FBE since I was born, so that's almost 20 years now. And I've been a Christian since my freshman year in high school. I remember growing up, I lost my dad when I was 3 to cancer, so I grew up with just me and my mom in the house, and I have a great mom, but there was still that missing part of my life that I felt was necessary. So I didn't have my dad, and that was really hard growing up as a kid because you see other kids with their dads all the time, and you wonder, why don't I have a dad? Where did my dad go? Why doesn't, and you make up all kinds of things in your head, but I wanted to be strong. I didn't want to look weak. I didn't want to be the little girl that didn't have a dad. So as I went through school, I just kind of tried to keep the appearance of strength, even though inside it was really painful a lot of times, and I was really sad. And I also didn't want to worry my mom. I just wanted to be stronger than everything that was happening in my life. But it got to a point where I was just barely going through life and just being in pain, just not being able to talk to anybody about it, not thinking that anybody would understand or that I could be weak. I didn't like vulnerability. I didn't want anybody to really see what I was feeling. So I kind of just pretended. I kept, everything's okay. I'm okay, but it wasn't. So I felt my freshman year in high school, I was just walking around school, going through the motions, and then suddenly I just heard God's voice really clearly, and it was recognizable. Like, I'd never heard God's voice before, but I knew it was God. And I heard him tell me, I want to be your father. And I was like, what? I'm just trying to get to math. So I was just walking around school. So I was like, okay. But then I just, it wasn't a huge, overwhelming emotional experience. I wasn't sobbing at my school. I just remember I felt peace like I had never felt before. It was just overwhelming peace. I felt like I had finally taken a breath that I had been holding, and that person that I didn't want anybody to see just kind of took a breath. And I felt really happy, but just really peaceful. And there's been, through my life, I've experienced a lot of loss. My father, and even a year ago, my grandpa. And the comparison of loss before God and with God is amazing. Because there's so many things in life that happen, and you just can't get through them alone. You can't face them. You're not strong enough, especially if you're going to isolate yourself and want to be on your own and be strong. There's just so many things that you're not able to get through. And I wasn't. I still can't, but now I have God, and it's a huge difference because now I feel peace no matter what circumstance I'm going through. My life doesn't have to be happy. Sometimes I still experience loss, but I know that God loves me. And every time that I could never doubt it, every time that I feel like I've done something bad, this is the time, I'm trying to be strong again, God just loves me all the time. And I've never felt like he didn't love me since I met him my freshman year in high school. I've always felt like I have a father, like a real father. Not they tell you in church, God is a father, and you're like, okay, great, right? Like, God's a father, yeah, I know that, it's in the Bible. But it's different when God just really grabs your attention and says, no, I love you. I really love you, not because you deserve it, just because you're my child, and I just care about you because I'm your father, there's no other reason. And it was a breath of fresh air to me because I was trying so hard to be so perfect, I'm trying so hard to be strong and just be, everything that I thought everyone else needed. But all I really needed to be was, the little girl that didn't have a father, because I got to experience a huge love because God came in to be my father. And I felt peace ever since, no matter what I've gone through. And now God has used what I've been through to really, like it says in 2 Corinthians, comfort people with the comfort that God has given you. So the comfort that I felt, I feel like I can share with other people. And I volunteer in hospice, and I'm going to school right now to be a hospice chaplain. So I'm around a lot of grief and a lot of people who really are experiencing great loss, and I know exactly what that feels like, and I know exactly how tough it is, how emotionally exhausting it is, and I know that the only rest you get, not brief moments of, oh, I'm doing something fun, but the really rest you get for your soul, where you feel like you are loved and you don't have to, be strong and you can just be held, is in God. And that's what I felt my entire life. And once you know it, you just don't want to let it go, because throughout all of life, you have the situations that are just overwhelming and beyond your control. But God steps in every time and comforts me and loves me. And I feel like I can help other people that need that comfort that surpasses everything else, that's doesn't depend on your circumstance, because there's little happinesses in life, but there's nothing like somebody, a God and a Father who just cares about you and just wants to love you through all of it. That's my story.